Hi, my name is Ching, and I'm here to go over the Riviera paddles, their line of paddles, and how they work. The first paddle we have is the Elite Pro Series, and that's the gold one. You can always recognize it by the gold R on the front. These paddles are made out of carbon fiber. They're extremely light, and I actually requested that the shaft be extra stiff, and this is more of the battle the paddle style racing. The stiff shaft's good for surfing and for basically doing lots of starts around turns. We designed it a little bit smaller. This blade, this exact copy blade, came off of my wooden outrigger paddle that I won the world championships with it in 2010. So luckily enough, when they asked me to help design a paddle, I had one in the back of my truck ready to go. The one difference we did add is a slight dihedral in the back. This is to help the paddle stabilize itself through the water. And other than that, a lot of the characteristics we put in here is going to allow this paddle to run through the water much smoother than most. So the shape of this blade is actually very user-friendly. It's very forgiving on the paddler. If you don't set your blade correctly, most paddles tend to kind of wobble on you, hit the side of your board and slide out. This one will go through the water like butter every time. The next line we have is the Expedition. This is our intermediate paddle. It's definitely cost less than the Pro Series. However, it's also made of carbon fiber. The biggest difference on this paddle that I love about it is the shaft has flex in it. And when I'm racing long distances or I'm paddling really far, I prefer my paddle to flex before my shoulders do. It prevents injury, it saves my shoulders, allows me to train longer, and definitely helps out over the long haul. The Expedition has the exact same blade as the Pro Series, as do most of the line of paddles. We wanted to keep that because we didn't want the shapes to change. The last model is the Scout. This is, we'd call it the lower end, but by far this is the best value paddle you can get. It's made out of fiberglass, so we're able to save a little bit of money for the consumer on that side, but the shape is the same. The flex is very similar to the Expedition. The only difference is the weight is a little bit more. So save a little bit of money, add a little bit of weight. This is by far the best value paddle you can get on the market today. The last paddle we have in the Riviera line is the Sprout. This paddle was designed for kids and women. We actually went with a completely different shape, and this was, as the surface area of the blade comes down, you have to redesign the paddle in order for it to bite and run smooth through the water. So if you look, there is no dihedral on the back. There is still a tiny little scoop right here, and if you look, the biggest difference is the bottom is a little bit more square. This allows for that nice solid catch at the front of your stroke, but since the paddle is small, it still runs quickly through the water. The other difference is the shaft is much narrower than the normal shaft, and we figure with smaller kids and smaller women, the handle, the shaft, the blade, everything about it is smaller. So there we have it. That's the Riviera line of paddles. Again, we have the Pro Series, our most expensive, best paddle. We have the Expedition Series, a little bit cheaper, still made of carbon, has a lot of flex in the shaft, which is wonderful for distance paddling. And then we have our best value paddle, and that would be the Scout. Lastly, the Sprout, newly designed, new to the Riviera Series. This is for kids, women, and who knows, maybe even me one day.